Today we're going to be wiring up the window relays and the door popper relays. This was kind of crazy. You know, there was 10 wires, maybe 11 wires that I brought through the loom. And, you know, it was going all right. It was not a big deal. Did some testing. Everything was good. But then, again, I told you in the past that, you know, I'm used to triggering positives and not triggering negatives. And so even though I was looking at my chart and everything made sense, it was just really weird. Like, is this a ground or is this a switching ground, you know? And so it kind of threw me off a little bit, and I had to like think for a while. So it kind of slowed me down. But I got all this stuff kind of buttoned up in the sense of tape, and I still might put some diodes, which I ran out of, on my relays just for protection. But otherwise, everything is installed. I have disconnects on my window relay, so when we take the doors off the paint, we can just disconnect it. I have wires for the, you could see hanging off the blue tape of the door. That's for my door poppers, so that's all ready to go. And then over here you see some brown and black wires. That's actually going to my door switch, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do until I popped the body off, but now that I'm looking from this angle, I might be able to get in there and do some stuff. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But, you know, later on I'm going to put sleeves on all this stuff and make it look really nice. And then I think I'm just going to actually silicone it right to the panel here. So that way it's easily removable, but it's not bouncing around, and it's shock mounted and also isolated electronically with the silicone. So that's on that side. And then on this rat's nest over here, I made a nice loom, which is going to be for my emergency brake actuator. I made another loom that's going to be for my headlight lamp. However, I really don't know where, you know, the dash harness is going to come through here and how much that extension is. I made definitely more than I need. Probably it's almost maybe, you know, I don't want to say double what I need, but I just didn't know. So I'll either cut it down later, and that's why I didn't wrap it, or maybe it's fine and I'll wrap it later, but I need to actually figure out, you know, what I'm doing first before I cut the wrap for no reason. Other than that, everything is all wired up here. I haven't actually tightened down my my wire block at all. And I have some stuff, you know, sealed up so it's not getting destroyed before it goes into my front console panel. But yeah, it still looks like a mess, but it's just because it's not, you know, in a plate, if you will, all organized. The other thing I did was I put a ground in right there, and that was actually a nice, easy process with the right tools. I was able to get my, it's like a drill bit slash tapper all in one, and so I just popped that in there. And then I actually put the ECU ground, which has to be separate. I put it on the same exact hole where I'm actually holding all the wire up. And then I got my meter out and tested between that and the engine, which was fine. And then I tested that to like one of these holes where the rivets goes, and it was fine. So we know that we have really solid ground, and so I didn't see really any ohmage at all, and it was beeping, so that was good. So really the next thing to do is to come over here and kick stuff around, but come over here and actually put the floor plate in, kind of see where these wires are going to be mounted. The manual's kind of non-specific about where to route these wires. Is it coming through wire to the frame and then popping right through this wall that comes here and then comes, it's like an L right here? Or is it going around and then going in? I don't really know. And in any case, I'm going to do it the way I want to, but I just kind of want to see what they expected with, because I don't think this is actually the right amount of cover to get where it's supposed to go. and that's why it's not making sense to me. I also added 2 extra wires into the loom, which is for possibly triggering a back camera and triggering a tail light because, or a reverse light, because there is no reverse lights on this car. And I spent months looking for a tail light that has the white light inside of the red, and they make it in a 6-inch. They don't make it in a 4-inch, and so, which I believe this is 4-inch or thereabouts. So, you know, I just gave up on that. And so what I might do is, just like the camera, the license plate will be down here, and then maybe I'll have a ring of white light LEDs that will just shine when I go into reverse. And I haven't actually decided specifically, you can see those 2 wires are sitting right there. I don't know what to do with those yet, because I don't know if I'm going to buy the switch where it's automatically attached to the transmission, so when you put it in reverse it automatically turns on, or do I want to have this as a manual switch that I turn on by myself, you know, at any time. However, that leaves a lot of air for forgetting about it and then getting busted for having your rear tail light on while you're driving. So, not that I plan on doing a lot of nighttime driving, but, you know, you can't see crap out of the back of this car because of the crazy, literally 3.5, 4-inch window. It's just, you're not going to see anything. And so I was looking at a rear view mirror type camera, and everything is just too big, and this car is just so small. So literally, like, from there to there, it's like 12 inches. It would be huge, and you could see that there's only like 1.5 inches to the lip of the window. So you'd be like blocking all that, and then a bunch of wires, because you know, these rear view mirrors are supposed to be on top, and so all the wires come out of the top of the mirror. So then you'd have wires coming out, and it's just, you know. And I even asked some manufacturers, hey, can you go into the software of the camera and flip the image so I could flip this upside down and have the wires go right into the top of the dash? But they don't allow you to do that. So, and I really don't want to route a bunch of stuff up there, because then now I have to create a channel and do it. Like, now we're just getting way too complicated. So I did find some cameras that actually, I don't know, Bluetooth or whatever to your phone. Maybe it's Wi-Fi, I'm not really sure, with an app. And so I figured, you know what, that would be worth it to have. You know, you could just have your phone on a holder on top of the dash there, just for, you know, backing up, and you could turn it on. You got the rear lights shining back there, so if it's at night and you got probably a little bit of infrared or whatever at night, you're probably good. Or, now that I thought about that, sometimes these cameras come with lights and turn on lights when it's nighttime. I'm assuming it's infrared though. But so, you know, that's kind of the deal. And so I'm kind of just leaving this stuff open. And then what's going to happen is, this is actually my ECU harness. All the other harness is this hard stuff, which without that tool is really hard to get into. And it's just, you know, tons of Ys coming through and all that stuff. So it'd just be really tough to route. So what I did is I routed these wires through this nice stuff, and it's easy to get through. However, right about here, I could switch over and route it through just the end tail of one of these, or eliminate this and get this stuff and rerun it all the way over here. And so, you know, I'll have one little like area where I'll switch over, but you tape it all and you won't see it, and that will come through. Another thing I did is I just added, which is not on camera, but right there, I added a outdoor fuse, inline fuse holder for my hotline, because the hotline coming to all my powered relays for the windows and stuff is supposed to be a 25 amp fuse, and I didn't want to put the fuse up in this mess, because if I have to take the whole console apart to get to the fuse, which there are other fuses in the EFI harness and all that stuff, but that being said, I'd rather just go under the car and pop that fuse out and replace it than go into this mess and just deconstruct the whole car to replace a fuse. So That's another thing, like when I reroute all this stuff, is there a way for me to get all the fuses to like one little area or something like that so I don't have to take apart the whole car to get to it? So, you know, that's what the test driving for 300 miles before you paint the car and button it all up is going to be about. And at some point, I'm going to have to try to put the shifter back on, try to get the trans tunnel back on, and that just does not excite me at all. That just looks horrific. Yeah, that's just going to be brutal. So I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do with all that, but we'll get there. We will get there. So, in any case, that's what I did today, and have a great day. See you next time.